Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 1072 for the 30th of January. So we're going to start off from the Kherson front. Over the Kherson front, we have fighting being reported in the Dnipro direction, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, but that's about it. We don't have anything else being reported along Kherson. Over in the Zaporizhia front, we have fighting being reported at Kayamsky, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. So there's some kind of a attack. The Ukrainians have some positions in the southern half of the Kayamsky, and probably the Russians are trying to push them out or conduct some fire mission on them. But that's about it at Kayamsky. We move on from the Zaporizhia front to the Velika Novosilka front. The Russian forces have already fully captured Velika Novosilka. In case you did not know, the Russians are now attacking Vinnypole, Novosilka, Novopil, as well as Novodarivka. So mainly the focus is now over on the western flank of the Velika Novosilka front. We move on over to the Andriivka front. Fighting is reported over at Andriivka, Shevchenko, Dashny, north of Sukiali, near Zelenivka, and Constantinople and Roslev. So there's some small little frontline change north of Sukiali, as well as Ukrainian mapping invalidating some of their mapping, claiming Russian expansion in the north of Shevchenko. There's some slight frontline change in the east of Shevchenko, but that's about it. Generally, strategically, there's nothing change. The Russians are still squeezing the Ukrainians in the Ulakli pocket, and the Ukrainians are still stuck with just one entrance and exit. And strategically, nothing has changed. So, despite the small little frontline changes here and there. So over at the southern flank of the Pokrov front, we have, I think, reported at Yasenove. Russian forces confirmed to have captured the entirety of Novo Andriivka. So previously, yesterday, we mentioned about this pincer causing an encirclement. So it's now all over. The Russian forces have fully taken the entirety of Novo Andriivka, and fighting is reported at Yasenove and Nadievka. At Nadievka, the Russian forces has expanded control in the southern part of Nadievka, capturing a lot of areas within this settlement, which means the Ukrainians are on the verge of losing Nadievka next over probably the next 1 or 2 days. So over in the Pokrov sector, there is fighting reported at Uspennivka, geolocation of Russian forces off Solone. Fighting is reported at Udashne. Ukrainians are counter-attacking at Udashne. Fighting is reported at Kotline. Some tiny frontline change, which is no point to talk about. Fighting is reported at Pokrov as well as Novo Ukrainka. So that's all from the Pokrov sector. Over in the Minokhrad sector, there is fighting reported at Novopalivka. So Novo Ukrainka, probably mentioned just now, Lysivka, Promin, as well as Novotoretsk. So that's about it. Nothing particularly stand out here over as well. So moving into the northern flank, we have fighting reported at Yelizavetivka, Malinivka, as well as Vodiane and Druhi. So nothing else over in the Zelenipole or Baranivka region. So the fighting remains to be around here, with the Russians trying to take Vodiane Druhi to establish a strong Russian position to protect and deny the use of the highway by the Ukrainian forces over in the between Konstantinivka and Pokrov. So that's about it from this sector. Over in the Toretsk front, we have fighting reported at Shcherbynivka, Nelipivka, Toretsk, Krimsky, as well as Druzhba. So the mainly over in the Shcherbynivka and Nelipivka region, Ukrainian mapping have mapped that the Russian forces is now on the verge of the full capture of Nelipivka, according to their mapping, whereas geolocation shows that the Russian forces has headed into Shcherbynivka, most likely coming from the east, after the full, more or less, the full security of this entire region, the Zabalka micro district over in Toretsk. So we shall see. The parallel universe is pretty huge. Ukrainian mapping map that this entire area is all under Ukrainian control. But yeah, not so sure. So we move on into the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, we have fighting reported over at Orikovo Vasilivka, Novomakovye, Chasivya, as well as Peteshny. So frontline changes over at Chasivya with the collapse of the Ukrainian lines continuing over in Chasivya. Russian forces geolocated in a new location, signaling more ground loss in the southeast of Chasivya. So that's about it. The Russians are continuing to push pretty bigly, and the frontline change around here is at least 1 kilometer. So yeah, pretty significant advance by the Russian forces. And over in the Sivers front, we have fighting reported at Bilohorivka, Verkhamokanyamske, Sivers, as well as shelling probably over at Dronivka. Of course, it could also be an attack in the region of Dronivka, but we do not know. So, in case you're wondering why I'm behaving a bit weird, yeah, my eyes, especially my eyes, because I'm very sleepy. I'm actually about to fall asleep as I'm doing this report. Has been a long day for me. So later I'm gonna have a reunion dinner, and I have been busy since early morning. So yeah, so sleepy right now. So findings reported at Zelena Dolena, Koleziazi, Terny, Yampolivka, and geolocation of Ukrainian forces off Dibrova, confirming Ukrainian presence still along this Shcherbynivka forest region. It looks like the front line did not change at all. So Russians are now making their focus around the Ivanivka-Terny region, but there doesn't seem to be any breakthrough in the Liman front, so the situation remains the same. Over at the Kharkivka-Merkievka region, fighting is reported at Nevsky or Balkazuravka, but that's about it. No other updates regarding this sector. At the Borova front, things are also a bit more quiet, with fighting only reported at Kopanki, Novokrylyakivka, and Zarizove. So that's all. We move into the Kupiansk front. At the Kupiansk front, fighting is reported at Petropavlivka, Zagorokivka, Pischany, as well as Toretsk. So that's about it. Fighting at Kurylivka is interesting, but yeah, the front line is a bit too far, so I don't think this is going to matter. Over at the Voreshna front, we have fighting reported towards Kukivka and Putnikove. So Putnikove, or Putinkove, or Putnikove, yeah. Then geolocation of Russian forces expanding control in the further moving into the direction of Vyhorivka, and geolocation of Russian forces in the south of Zapadny. So this geolocation is probably the same footage that the Ukrainians have used to decide that the Russians have indeed reached this place a long time ago. The footage has just appeared in the public, I think just geolocated, so that's what it is in the south of Zapadny. Over in this Voreshna region, Russian forces are moving northward from the Dibrivka district as they are heading towards Vyholivka. The geolocation may, of course, be mapped in this way, claiming this entire area to be under Russian control, but I decided to go for the conservative mapping. So that's what we have right here. It becoming a rabbit here. So so there is a rabbit, or actually this is like a dog with a broken nose. No, this looks like a dog. I should like draw it this way. Yeah, so then this is the dog here, and then this is the dog. Yeah, it looks cursed. Okay, so and talking about curse, we are not going to curse first. We're going to go into Kharkiv first. At the Kharkiv, we only have fighting being reported at Voschansk and Lipsy. Usual stuff, so nothing special. And now we are getting cursed in Kursk. In the southern flank of Kursk and Sudzha, largely strategically, nothing have changed. Fighting is reported at Krylivka, Guevo, Magnovka, Gunjarovka, Shelly and Gogolevka, Rubanskina, as well as Pervy Kindianze. So that's about it. Nothing particularly special over this front line. Still the same situation. Over in the northern flank, we have fighting reported at Cherkaskoye Parashnoe, Novaya Sorokina, Nikolaevka, Malaya Loknia, as well as Nikolsky. Again, strategically, nothing has changed. Same thing over the western flank, fighting reported at Svidiklovo and Lebedevka. Nothing changed. So that's about it in Kursk. So that's it. So this is the situation report for the past 24 hours. Thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna fall asleep, and I'll see you guys in the next update.